Welcome into Reality After Show's coverage of Big Brother 27. I'm your host, Bobby Goodsby, joined as always by my co-host, Mr. Phillip Solomon from Deal or No Deal Island 2, excuse me. And we have a special guest, someone who's played with Rachael Reilly, knows her games inside and out, Big Brother 12's Matt Hoffman. Matt, how you doing tonight?
Hey, doing great. Thank you.
Good, man. We're happy to have you. It's been a while since we talked. It's been a few years, but we're happy to have you back here on Reality After Show. So, Matt, tell us, what is your opinion of Big Brother 27? Who are you liking, and anything else you want to say about the season so far?
Jumping right in.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I like this. I'm the biggest cynic for Big Brother, so I'll be the first to tell you when things are fucking horrible. And I'm enjoying this better than I have in a while. It started with the premiere episode, which is the best we've seen in years. That didn't just drag the same competitions over and over. It's kind of like old school, the introductions, and of course Rachel's injection. I love. She's definitely like kind of old school Rachael. She's not like totally matured, which is perfect. And we get, it's been pretty good drama. I like the Keanu storyline. They just can't get him out. I think that's great. There's definitely some wackadoos in there. We lost one tonight, unfortunately. I know you guys seem to be happy about it, but I just like the kooks. So like I keep him as long as we can keep him. And it's been a decent season so far, but we'll see. I don't want to get like too excited. It's still pre-jury.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that. One thing I will say about Jimmy is he was at least bringing the good TV moments, where he was at least making, our television screen more entertaining than this season probably would be without him. But at the same time, a lot of the stuff he did kind of drove me crazy and was making me like pull my hair out at times. Phillip, I know you feel kind of the same way. What's your thoughts on Jimmy leaving the house?
Okay, so I live in this world of like, okay, number one, we have someone new here. Hey, Matt, a guest. I'm going to be on my best behavior. I'm going to try not to be as much of an HR issue on this day. But at the same time, also, I think our HR is Johnny Hairplay. So I think we're good. As far as I'm concerned, but as a whole, I come from a world of like Housewives, Drag Race, that kind of deal, where like I know the person that moves storyline. I know the person that gets the plot moving. And I think that it was almost like our boy Jimmy was like wearing a mover and shaker Halloween costume. It's like he wasn't doing it the right way, but he had watched enough of it that he was like, I think I know how this works. And you're like, no, you don't, because it's not coming off natural or authentic. Yeah, it's like it was almost as if he was, to be honest, like by the end, it was like he was wearing a Rachael Reilly Spirit Halloween head to toe, that he would like he had seen it long enough that he was like, I got this. And as an audience, you're like, no, you don't.
But I like his heart's in the right place. At least he's trying. I feel like you're right. He missed the mark. But in the similar vein, like when someone makes a big power move and it just fucking blows up in their face, I go, I'm glad you tried that. I'd rather have you tried that and blow up in your face than not even give us, the fans, the glory of like seeing what happened, or just seeing this happen, seeing it unfold. Or in this case, seeing you look like a fucking lunatic and throw your sunglasses in the most dramatic and again, very like contrived fashion. I agree with you totally. But I mean, he was very misguided, but it was fun. I think it was fun. Again, it was something.
Yeah, another thing I want to talk about too is like Jimmy as a whole was at least giving us something. But the thing that frustrated me with his game was he did what the same thing the first HOH did. And they kind of set this pattern for basically the first 3 weeks being very, very boring, in my opinion. Very just wash and repeat of the same thing. And he talked a big game. He said he was going to make all these moves. He was going to do whatever he could to shake up the house and keep things crazy. He even said the first night, even he was going to go after Rachael, and Rachael ended up being one of the only ones to try to keep him in the house this week. So I just didn't like the consistency as much as the dramatics. Like the consistency with the gameplay was not what he preached he was going to play.
I think the best players are the ones that can make good TV and play to win. And so it's very interesting that when you're watching him and Rachael, it's like they're on parallel roads, except Rachael also makes like a slight left turn toward still playing to win, and Jimmy just turns right towards trying to make good TV instead. I don't think there was almost a single move that Jimmy made. Like if you asked him, gun to his head, do you think you have a real shot at winning this? And he's like, no, but I want to be on Traders next year. Like that to me, it was giving that, because he never actually like made a move to win the game. I know it's a very social game in comparison to Survivor or like anything else like out there. But if you play the social game too hard, you're just hanging out. Now you're just like chilling with your friends.
Yeah. So, okay. So let's move on a little bit, because I do want to get your opinion. I know we're kind of jumping to the end, but I think that's like the fresh topic right now that's in front of us.
Oh, it's fresh.
Matt, what was your opinion of Rachael not voting with the house tonight? Like I know the position she's in, she's a little bit in a better position than, she was coming into the game, where she does have people that she's been working with, but going against the side of the house, that the majority that voted against Jimmy just because that's your friend. I would think more of a vet to just go with the house rather than friendship at this point.
Well, look, Rachael is, and for me, I love this. She is playing old school Big Brother because that's what she knows. And what I mean by that is like, you saw it a couple times tonight. You saw it when after the whatever the stupid blockbuster competition, and like every week, everyone's just wasting 2 minutes hugging. Rachael is talking to every single person because she's playing a game. She's not here to make a bunch of friends and kumbaya and worry about if she said the wrong thing because she's gonna get out and get canceled when she gets home. She's playing Big Brother like we used to play Big Brother, and nobody does that. And then you see her in the diary room. She's spending her time, not like doing 30-second shout out. She's in the hallway still playing and convincing and pleading her case in the middle of the hallway because she's playing Big Brother. She doesn't give a fuck about like all this shit that like is just taking over this games out in recent years. And it's just bonkers. And she's playing, and I love that about her. Yeah. What puzzles me about her, and I hate to say this because I love Rachael, but it still befuddles me with her and all these people. Every time you get like a single returnee back on a show, whether it's Suri or Paul or fucking anybody, there's never, in my mind, I put myself in position for a player, I immediately go for them. Like we get them out, right? Isn't everybody on board with this, right? And it never happens. And it's like, it's not even a storyline. It's not even like we should. It was never, it just didn't. It's like Rachael instantly integrated, Suri, Paul, again, I put those three up, but like, and not even this show, like other shows that do this.
Yeah.
I don't know what goes on that you just kind of get to coast for a little bit or something. But I feel like unless there's something I don't know, I would have been like target number one are these returning people. If we have a whole house of newbies, so I don't know what goes on, but she's playing and I respect that. And I love that we get like people playing Big Brother.
All right. I have a response, but it's also going to lead to a question for you, Matt. I think my response is Rachael, although she should be killing this game, destroying this game, is arguably not good at Big Brother in 2025. That's what I will say. I will not say she's not a good player. I watched it more than once, killed it, slayed it. But what I'm going to ask you is, in getting to watch her in this season, let's say the casting team calls you for 2026. What are just like a couple things you would change about your old game that in going into this new era, 2026 Big Brother, you would have to be like, I can't do that anymore. Instead, I would have to go this way instead.
Yeah, well, the biggest shift is, both what kind of kept the brigade successful and also led to my downfall is very fervent loyalty. And not only did that not work at the time, but even less so in modern Big Brother, back when I played, you had an alliance, maybe two, but like an alliance. And now it's like on day one, you have 3 alliances and it's very normal and you're just like accepted. So that mode of gameplay, I have to be like out of that and be like, there's no loyalty. I'm loyal to me. And that's pretty much it. So that would be like a big difference. And that would also fundamentally change, my gameplay and just the way I approach strategy for sure. I think that 99 times out of 100, when we bring a returnee back, we typically see mostly the same gameplay, and I don't like that. I want to bring someone back and see a little different side of them. Rachael Reilly is that small 1% where I go, every time we bring her back, I want to see Rachael again. I want to see that exact same Rachael because I love her for the same reasons every time. You know, I don't want to see this evolved Rachael. I want Rachael, and I think we're kind of getting it for the most part.
So the chat really wants us to get into it, and the meat and potatoes of the episode, 100%.
No.
First off,
no,
right,
no,
exactly. Hated seeing Rachael talk to Ashley for 3 hours in the hallway, and then secondly,
how'd you get that stuff pulled up? You're so professional.
Ashley tried to switch her value. You know, we try our best.
There's a chat here too.
There is a chat. There's a lot of comments tonight. People are happy you're here, man. Matt, we need to have you more often because the chat is going wild tonight.
They should be going wild. My fucking icon.
Yeah. So talk about Ashley trying to switch her vote, and let's talk about Ashley and Rachael talking for like 3 hours in the hallway. I agree. When that happened, and Julie's just standing there. Like, I love that we got
Julie's fucking totally just going haywire. Her circuits are fried. She doesn't know what to do. She cannot improv or anything.
The producers were losing their minds. You could.
They're talking in her ear.
She's on the other side. You know, someone lost their job on that night, and I say that as someone that was at the Beyonce concert when that car fell out of the sky. That I was like, someone just lost their job. I'm telling you, somebody lost their job on that night where they were like, absolutely not. We can't do this. Away. Go. Like this was so incredibly insane that I was like, what are we watching?
If this is not the thing that finally makes production go, no more shout outs, because it's just fucking like, say your vote and get out of there. It's okay. It's confusing. Julie Chen is not equipped as a host to understand when conversations start and end. Like, she has a very like tunnel vision focus. If anything goes a little astray, she's fucking out there. So like, just give her the vote and let her go, because she cannot manage these types of situations.
It's to the point now where I don't care what they do. I think the live voting, where they go one by one into the hallway, then into the diary room and make their vote, it takes up so much chunk of episode. And then two, why do we need to see them walking in the hallway doing all of this and that? Can they just get like some pre-recorded votes? Like, you can give every scenario, right? Like, okay, so you're voting in case of this scenario, but have it just be done. I know it's kind of wishy-washy in what I'm asking for, but like, it takes up so much of the episode, and then you have moments like this that can completely take the show off the rails.
But I mean, still, you look at like a season 6, 7, 8, whatever, even 12, like it moved, you know, the people were just going in and voting and leaving. It was annoying to an extent, but this is like double, triple the time we usually used to get. It's horrible.
Yeah. Something happened.
So when this, not the Blockbuster last year. What was it last year? The AI Arena? Okay, got it. I'm back now. Sorry. So when we introduced AI Arena last year, remember when they would come back from the AI Arena and whoever won it, then everyone would go off into like a room or two and huddle up and like talk about things or whatever else. I thought it was so odd that this season they're not doing that at all. And I was like, yo, they must really have it under control in their head and in their heart who they want to vote for. And as we learned tonight, nope, they actually have even less of an idea. Who, like, they just walk in there blind as hell and hope for the best, because no real diary vote has counted till this week. Like, this is that game changer week that the game turns on, that they were like, oh, we're not just floater against floater. Like, now our votes actually count. So I think like this was a weird time for them to be like, who am I supposed to be voting for again? It was awkward to watch.
Are you guys feed viewers, or like, are you deep in? Because see, yeah, I just have to fair warning. I'm like, you're speaking to a CBS only viewer. So if there's like nuances, I know the edits is what I know.
I stay away from the feed because I'm with him and he's hard on the feed. And we always like to talk about what's going on 24 hours a day versus what's going on the 1 hour a day. So like, I specifically stay off the feed so we can have this argument in front of an audience.
Now, if you would have asked me like 5 years ago, I would say hardcore feud watcher, everything, Twitter, all that. I have a kid now. I've got a job. I've got multiple jobs, actually. I just don't have time to do the feeds, right? I do.
Can she watch the feeds at least now and then just kind of keep you updated?
She's 4, man. She's like, wait, what show is this? She
has no idea. Time to get her started.
She's like, wait, this isn't SpongeBob. Like, what are we talking about here? This is not my show. I do want to put this up here because now that I think about it, no, I wouldn't do that if they pre-taped the votes. They could manipulate the show too much. I agree, Jesse, Michael, you're completely right. Like the more I think about it, the more I say stuff out loud. I'm kind of spitballing here with what I would do, but something's got to be done because the shout outs are too much. The hallway of them doing this goofy little antics, I'm over it. I don't care. Like get them in, get them out, get it done. That's what I want to say. But let's move along. I do want to say this too, actually, because we didn't talk about it yet. The whole Ashley of it all, going back after talking to Will and trying to change her vote. I swear to God, Julie was like in full meltdown mode. She's like, no.
It was like Topaz on Big Brother Canada, the first one, when she had got the wrong vote.
I was waiting for I don't know what to vote. You can and you will.
It didn't even matter anyway, ultimately. It's crazy.
Yeah, it didn't.
She just wanted to make sure that she was on the right side of the vote. Like she doesn't understand that Julie Chen is Ron Burgundy from Anchorman. She's only gonna read what's up there. Like she can't do the improv. She can't go another way. Like that.
To be in Chen Moonvest's brain during that moment of just chaos in her head, I'm sure. Again, something like any like average host could just mull through that, get to figure it out, wrangle it in, get things moving. She is like not equipped.
Can't do it.
Yeah. All right, so let's kind of backtrack. So I got the little one in the background wanting her screen.
I love this. She loves me. Yeah. She's such a Hoffmaniac. Does she always do this at your shows, or just for me?
Rarely. It's because you're here, Matt.
Obviously,
Matt,
this is great.
She's a huge, Matt Hoffman.
My fans span generations. Probably.
I can't wait to show her the brigade one day. So
she's already seen it. I'm sure. Look, she knows.
She's seen it in the background. I'm sure. But yeah, she one day she will
check her YouTube search history. It's all Matt Hoffman, Big Brother 12
on Kids Tube. It's all Matt
Hoffman. It's just that over and over again.
Over and over. I know. Busted, kid.
Penelope, go sit down. But yeah, no, she's gonna be a big brother in training here soon because I couldn't get on the show, so someone's got to get on the show. So, but yeah, mommy's at work, so that's why. But let's talk about the week as a whole. I know we're kind of went first into tonight's episode, but this week was crazy. We had a lot going on. And I'm not going to get too much into the feeds because, Matt, obviously you said you're a live show watcher. This week was kind of crazy for me. I was more live show than I was feeds. But let's get into it because a lot of what we saw on the episodes is actually what was going on in the feeds. What were your guys' thoughts? I'll start with you, Phillip. What were you thinking?
Okay, so I am not a feeds person, but I am a Reddit person, which gives me highlights of the feeds. And this week was the first time on Reddit I read almost 80% of the comments were like, what's happening on TV is very different from what is happening in the house. And like, normally it's pretty parallel, but they were like, this week is off. The editing is weird and it's telling stories that aren't necessarily happening. If you want to get into the Reilly, Katherine of it all, on the live feeds, she seems pretty icked. And on television, they want a showman so bad. And he asks her for a kiss, and she's like, no. And like, just kind of like takes a step back. Like, and so we didn't get to see that on TV because it doesn't necessarily like hit the storyline that they want. But that's what's happening. Like, she is actively saying no. And they just put some rom-com music behind it.
It's interesting you say that. I was with this episode, I was watching my wife downstairs and I said exactly, it was like 3/4 of the way in past the showman's part. And I was like, this chick, what's her name? Katherine? I don't even know who she is.
She says like, about 3 words.
I was like, to my wife, I go, she seems at face value like very normal. She's just like a normal, she's a good-looking girl, whatever, like cute, doesn't seem like offensive, she's that. But this guy, to me, as a male, I don't know, I don't know. So as my wife, is he appealing in any way? Because I feel like he's just so hyper unappealing, and she is so very just normal. Like, why would you? What is happening? And my wife's like, yeah, I don't get it either. And so I go, but the TV show makes it seem very into her. You're telling me that's not the case at all. Which makes much more sense to me.
The live feeds, but Reddit has been showing clips and stuff of being like, she is actively saying, no, this is not happening.
But what about the notion that you hear this from contestants, or like, this is the defense, is go, well, you can't they didn't make it up. Like what was on camera was on camera. She's definitely cuddling with him. She's definitely like snuggling with him, always on top of him. So that, you know, maybe in some other also live feed clip, she's going, ew, gross. But then in what I see on the camera, she's all over it. Like, what's going on?
I mean, why would she be attracted to Reilly? And that is my perfect transition and segue. All right. So, Bobby Goodsby, as I live and breathe.
I knew this was coming.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, I didn't do it. Twitter did. There is a Twitter video of Reilly getting, okay. Oh. I don't want Johnny Fairplay HR to yell at me. So Reilly's getting a little excited, happy to be here. And the live feeds caught it. And I'll tell you what, the Lord did not give that boy up top. He gave him down under, and that's fair.
Wait, I thought you were going somewhere else. Did you see the clip? My wife was just showing me a clip on TikTok of him in the shower smacking his genitals against the sides of his legs to make a clapping noise and just laughing about it in the shower.
I mean, that kind of goes hand in hand because
so look for that on TikTok. I definitely saw it myself.
Because this is skill and talent. This is impressive.
So do we keep him in the house then? Or is that what we? Yeah,
this is a lot.
Maybe that's why she's into him. I mean, maybe it's either that or he's loaded. So I don't think he's loaded. So maybe that's what's going on.
He is apparently. He is
loaded in a different way. He's yeah. Okay. Well, look. Now we have answers. That's it. That's good. It's good to know.
Oh yeah,
this makes sense of things.
And see now.
You're welcome. Look it up on Twitter. We can't show it here, but like look it up on Twitter. It exists.
It exists. Yeah, we'll send you the link. But I will say this about Reilly. Okay, so last week when I was on with Gabe, I was very hard on Reilly because Reilly, up until that point, to be fair, was not playing the game. He was talking about how he never wanted to win HOH. He never wanted to vote anyone out. He didn't want to use the veto unless it was for Katherine. He wouldn't use it on himself. Like he was there on summer vacation, not to play Big Brother. And that frustrated me as a fan. That's the worst kind of player I like to watch on my television screen. It would be great to play against, but to watch on my television screen, it's awful. And it really makes me mad because there's people out there that would really, really like to be on the show. And he's taking up a spot for someone that would actually play the game and want to be there.
Is he a recruit?
From what I know, he was a recruit. Now he says he's a super fan, but that's questionable at best. He knows like nothing about the show. But I will say this week's Reilly was much improved from the entire rest of the show, right? He's still in denial that he thinks Katherine's going to fall for him. Katherine on the feeds wants nothing to do with them. And the show, for whatever reason, like you said, Phillip, is giving us, Katherine might actually be coming along now. She might actually be starting to fall for him. We're not getting that on the feeds at all. The feeds, if anything, is like, no, stay away. Like you saw that little clip where he's talking to Katherine right before Mickey takes over his HOH or they do the whole thing. He's like, go to bed, Katherine. And she's like, I'm not tired or I'm not going to bed. It was because he was trying to get her to go to his HOH room and sleep in the bed with him. And she was like, no, I'm not having it. Like, I'm not doing it, dude. Like he is all over her. It's almost too much, but she's definitely using it to her advantage. So I will say this, though, from what I saw of Reilly this week, it is a step in the right direction. And I found myself actually kind of rooting for him in the Blockbuster challenge. Like I was like, I'd rather see him win than have one of these other two basically be in the house. So it's weird. I've kind of come a complete 180 since last week.
I think for me, it's the opposite. I actually like Reilly significantly less this week because, again, I've never on the feeds, but Reddit has shown me clips. Him yelling at Nikki was dirtier and nastier than you saw on TV because it's a network television show. And as someone that was a part of arguments like that, I've been there for them cleaning it up and me being like, that's not what got said to me was not what aired. And I was like, that's absolutely insane. And so it makes Nikki look unhinged for being like, dude, you need to calm down. But like there was some yelling, some screaming, some colorful language that was not used on CBS because it's CBS. That makes sense. But I will say it was super aggressive. And when you're like watching, it was giving, when you're like watching a man like yell at his wife in public and you're like, this is uncomfortable. It was giving that kind of situation where I was like, I want to turn it off, but I can't.
Yeah. So, I mean, the whole Reilly of it all too is I need to see more. This week was definitely showing us sides of him that were appeasing to me as a show watcher, but I'm sure on the feeds it was still the same old Reilly. Like I said, this week I was kind of off and on. I had a lot of stuff going on. Fantasy football weekend. I'm so ready for football. But let's talk about the rest of the week. So what were your guys' thoughts on Mickey obviously feeling threatened, feeling like she's going to go on the block, which she probably would have, to be honest with you. But what do you guys think of her using her power and how that all went down? Matt, let's start with you.
I mean, it's such a bullshit power, you know. I hated it in general. I hated it. No matter who used it on, who it was my favorite person using it on my least favorite person, I still would have hated it. It's fucking horrible that it even existed in the way that it did, and then to allow him to be put on the block again on top of it is just like insult to injury. I can't even believe it. I really can't believe it. I feel like it's one of the worst that they've done. So it was stupid. It was dumb as hell. But that's my thoughts on it. I think it was horrible. I think Reilly got screwed. I don't know. I'm glad he's got a big dong that he can bang against his legs. I feel at least he wins in that way in the game of life. She's so excited for Matt Hoffman. Don't tell her to go away because you can't blame her.
I'll just let her sit here and hang out for a little bit because she'll stay quiet, but she's just wanting to be attention
great
right now.
Who's her favorite contestant? Is she a Rachael Reilly fan?
Yeah, who's your favorite contestant, Penelope? Yeah, she doesn't know. She doesn't know.
All right, that's okay.
It's Rachael, right?
Okay. There's a lot to choose from. It's got to be Rachael.
So Phil, what were your thoughts on the power?
She's already had more camera time than Lauren has this whole season. I feel like Penelope
honestly, yes, you're not wrong. I think for me, justice for Mickey, and although I didn't love all of Mickey's moves this week, the idea that the only reason we knew Reilly was going to put her up was from Reilly's confessional. We heard it from his mouth to our ears, and then the audacity of him to be like, why would you think that? And all of us at home are like, why would she not think that? That's what you said. So like, it's so weird to me that he was that taken aback by the fact that she called him out on what he said. That I was like, but she didn't make that up. So as much as the internet is coming for Mickey and everything else, the Reddit, the Twitter, all that other stuff, like she was right in using it because she would have been up if she had not used it.
Yeah, like I mean, look, for Reilly, you get like total perfect example of don't hate the player, hate the game. Like Mickey had nothing to do with this. Be pissed. He should be very pissed at Grodner and Rich Meehan and the production team and whoever the fuck thought that this was some sort of good idea to even offer this. But the fact that Mickey won it and used it, this is not something to be upset with her about. She's just playing a card she was dealt, you know? So I don't blame his anger. I just blame where his anger was directed, I think.
Yeah. And honestly, the Mickey power, I agree with you, was complete bullshit. It was such a freaking, I hated all the powers this season. I'm going to be real with you. Like, as much as like on Survivor, I'm not like the biggest proponent of all the powers that they throw in. Sometimes, yes, it's a bit much. Like when Sari got basically idled out of the game, that was a bit much. But there's times where I find myself not being too against powers on Survivor. On Big Brother, I don't know why, but it's a complete different thing. Like I am so against the powers, like the coup d'etat. Let's go back to coup d'etat. Hated that. Like there's just so many things about powers in
totally
Big Brother.
Unfair. Totally unfair. This thing is bullshit. I'm glad I happen to be the recipient of it, but it doesn't make it any less bullshit. It's bullshit.
No,
I didn't do anything. They just gave it to me for no reason.
No, but I just, there's things about power in Big Brother that it just feels cheap, right? It just doesn't feel like the same game. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why I'm okay with it on Survivor, but not okay with it on Big Brother. Not sure the mindset behind it, but I just feel like it kind of ruins the show. Like we would have had an exciting week. We finally would have had the other side of the house sweating it all freaking week. Instead, we had another wash and repeat of the first 4 weeks that came out with a different ending. It did end up being okay. And I'm sure they got the drama out of the power that they wanted because it did make for good TV moments, but it was wash and repeat the whole week. And I hate it. I just wanted to see the other side be able to do something. And on top of it all, let's get to the next thing. Keanu wins another veto. Keanu is slowly, it's going to sound weird, Keanu's slowly becoming one of my favorite players of the season.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
And I feel like when you get a beast like that in a season, they always also have a side of misogyny or racism or something with them. Keanu's like a beast and he's like cool and calm. He's not doing anything. They all hate him, but he's really ostensibly not doing anything particularly offensive. He's like, seems like a pretty good dude. He's just killing it. I love it.
Yeah. Phillip, what do you think?
I think he's good in getting to kind of, again, follow it through social media. Apparently, the house doesn't love him just because he's not a good roommate. And like, you can tell kind of by looking at him, they're like, he doesn't shower. He uses the bathroom. He doesn't flush. He doesn't wash his hands. Then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, it's all the things we're not seeing on the show is why everyone's annoyed with him, because that's not good television per se. But as far as from like an audience perspective, he's playing a good game. And I still don't know why everyone was so mad that he was like, I have to pick you off one by one, because literally that is the game. They should all have that goal. They should all have the same objective.
Yeah, and another thing too is he eats everything as well. Like, he's a big guy. Like,
he's huge.
I get it. But Jesse also agrees. He's a chill dude. Like, he annoys Rachel. Like, yeah, but I feel like things like that are gonna annoy Rachel no matter what. I love Rachel to death, but working with her, I know little things can tick her off, and I know you probably know that too, Matt. But love Rachel, not saying anything bad, just saying I know how she gets. And the one thing I do want to say too is Keanu is playing this game now where his cards are all on the table, right? So he's already playing a winning game. He can absolutely win this game if he gets there, but he has to win out to get there. Like, he needs so much incredible luck to go his way for this to pan out. But I'm here for it. If it happens and he goes on this ultimate spree and the blockbuster challenge, as long as that's in the game, he's got multiple chances to stay alive each week. I'm here for it.
Question for you, I guess, because we're not seeing what I'm about to say on the edits. Is he? It looks to me by the edits that he is just sort of accepting that he has to do exactly what you are describing. Is there anything happening on the feeds where he's going like, maybe I can work this and weaponize myself, or, like, do something? Or is he like, because I think he could, but he's just seemingly not. He's just like, fuck it, I have to win everything.
Honestly, what we're seeing on the show is basically what we're seeing on the feeds. Like, I know
he needs to, like, he can make a case. He can at least try and do something. I want to see a little bit of that.
What he is in the house, like, he's 100% what we're seeing on our screens. But, like, honestly, it might even be worse because he's really not like that annoying and stuff. Like, you could see there's people that say they like Keanu. They like Keanu as a person. Like, he's kind of gotten better. He's grown on people and all that, but he's made such a target of himself and he's such an outcast from the beginning that he's just the easy vote every time. So they're always going to be going for him. Like, people in this house should be using him as a shield and I know people are, but like using him as a shield and someone they are going to work with long-term. Like, if I were in the house, I would never go after Keanu, because guess what? His target is always going to be bigger than yours. Totally. He's always going to be someone's main target, and he's going to protect you and be loyal because he's got no one else to work with. So the fact that these people don't want to do that is mind-boggling to me.
So we have an overlap to move ourselves forward, even though we're moving backward. Keanu and Ava, and also I have a lot to say on Ava, by the way, but Keanu and Ava, was that blown out of proportion? Was that crazy? Did she just want to start a fight? What
was it about? He was fully in the right. I feel I've never seen anybody, a group of people, be such dicks. I wonder if that was edited in some way.
I was going to say, you know more than any of us as far as like the pacing of the challenges. Is it more producer driven in the field where they like tell you when to applaud and stuff, or no?
The applause, no, but they like definitely, it's like, stop, say this line, stop, say this line, say it again, stop. So like the notion of her like having something to say is absolutely like he should have probably said that. I bet you right before he said that up in the speaker, he was like, okay, say, congratulations, you won the power veto. And I bet she was just kind of like chilling or maybe waiting or something. And I feel like that's how it probably went down. But the idea that like nobody clapped, is fucking crazy to me, and it's like lacks such fundamental sportsmanship. It's just so insane that I've never seen that any season. You've seen like even like I think the season 6 with the friendship versus the Sovereign Six. To me, that was like the most North versus South Big Brothers ever been. And even then, like you'd at least give the respect of clapping and like what I was just crazy. I've never seen that.
Yeah, it was wild to me. Not a single person. Maybe it's the shot they gave us, but
that's what I'm wondering. If I want to like hear from someone who was in there when they get out. Like I want to ask Rachel and be like, did that happen that way? It seems good.
Because it's like everyone had their head down. Like no one was hiding it either. Like everyone, every single person, if he looked into that crowd, every person had their hand down or was like, or whatever. Like everyone was shocked. So it was mind-boggling because like you said, Matt, I've never seen this before. I've literally never seen no one clap, no one be happy, or no one even just pity clapping. Like we didn't get a pity clap.
That's it.
Like doesn't matter if you're happy or not, like just pity clap or something, because this guy could win power next week and you don't want to be on the bad side. It's like they don't even care. It's like if the guy won HOH, no one would even go in the HOH to talk games. Is that how it feels?
It would be a dice roll for them too. Who gets
it's like, one of us is going. Phillip, what are your thoughts?
I think that I am normally Team Ava. I have come around on Ava. If you listen to any other episode that you and I have talked, I have never been an Ava fan. I think she's absolutely apeshit crazy. But in getting to really break down her gameplay, I think there's a lot of good things here. But for this specific argument, it really felt like she was waiting for someone to start a fight. Like, when you're having the worst day ever and you're waiting for somebody to just try it because that the next person that looks at you the wrong way, you're like, I'm ready, let's go. It was giving that. And so for me, I was like, listen, I'm normally with you, but like on this time, you might be a little out of your lane because again, he was right. You say congratulations because that's the line on the card. And you want to know how I know that? Because I've been watching the show for long enough that I'm like, everybody says that. You say it word for word. So that has to be a line somewhere. And so in turn.
And Bobby, is there some like live feed context that fills in the question of like right out as soon as out the gate, her immediate response was like something like, oh, you say that because of how I dress? And I was like, what? Like, what would even make her say that? Has he mentioned something about her clothing or something in the past?
No.
Or
as far as I know, no. But like the thing is, I feel like it was just Keanu versus the world, right? So like she is in a position where she's in the good middle position where no one really is looking at her. So for her, as soon as he said anything directed at her in any kind of tone that was possibly negative, I feel like she was just going with it because the rest of the house is against Keanu. If she says anything like and tries to go after him in a negative way, it's going to make her look better. It's that whole mob mentality, right?
Yeah.
Where, okay, everyone hates this person, so I have to hate this person too. Doesn't matter how you really feel about the person, but they've got such a aura around them that no one wants to be around that you have to gang up on them as well. It's really sucks. Like, I hate it. I hate that kind of gameplay. I get that it's a part of life as a whole, and as well in the Big Brother game, it's escalated. But that's kind of how I took it, is that she was grasping at straws for what to say in that moment. And that's what came out, is how I interpreted it. But for Ava to like, because I agree with you, Phillip. Like, I was confused on the time lapse there. Where is she waiting for production to tell her to say the words, or is it just as soon as he wins, like we see on the TV, it's congratulations, Keanu, you won the power of veto? Like, I'm not in the house. I've never been in the house. I don't know what that's like. Matt, you have experience with that, and you said it's kind of like they tell you
it's very natural. There's the natural ending, which is probably part of what you see in the edits, and then okay, everybody said you can sit down. Whoever's host, now read your lines, like, let's get the clear runs. So
Gotcha.
everything definitely plays out naturally. And then a minute later, they're all like, okay, get it together. We're going to get like these cuts of these phrases being said and stuff.
Okay. So she could have just naturally said it as soon as he won, correct?
For sure. And then they would have taken off the necklace and brought her back and said, okay, say it, to make sure they got the angles they need, they're on the right camera. So they would have done it again. But yes, also she could have just like said it naturally first, definitely.
So then, having heard that from someone that's played the game, I'm completely team Keanu in this situation. and I have no problem with what he said. He didn't say anything rude. He just said, don't you have a prompt to read? Like, give me my flowers, right? Like, he didn't say, hey, you know, or like call her out individually or anything like that. Like, as a person, he just said, don't you have a prompt to read? Like, give me my glory. And she wasn't going to give it to him in that moment if everyone was pissed off.
Okay, so my favorite conversation of the week was the one that took place afterwards. And I know that it was not immediately afterwards, but it's what we saw afterward. The Ava Keanu conversation. I love reality TV for the reasons of psychology and sociology, where I'm like, okay, wait, we're meeting this person on page 190 of their life story. What took place before this that got them here? Why are they like this? And what, even though they were having a conversation about the specific event, competition, the veto, whatever else it was, what they were actually saying is, Keanu was saying, I feel left out. I feel hurt that I won and no one celebrated, and we have celebrated everyone else in this house. And that took skill, and that was hard. And all I needed was a little support. And Ava was saying, as a smaller female who has grown up in New York, being constantly pushed around by all these finance bros and people thinking she's not a real person and they can just look at her and talk to her however they want, it brought up that trauma. And so for me, when I have a larger male yelling at me, I immediately snap back, because in New York, that's what you do. And it was so odd that I was like, oh, that's the real conversation that we're having here. Like, it actually has nothing to do with this at all. And that's why I love reality TV, because you get to see these two different people that have had such different life experiences. They were both feeling attacked and hurt at the same time, and they just like went after one another. And at the end, they just realized it turns out you weren't the issue after all. Sorry. And you're like, cool, great.
Yeah, and I loved when they were talking in the room afterwards, and Keanu, to his credit, had a lot of feelings about it. You could tell he was crying. He actually felt very embarrassed with how he reacted in that situation. Even though I don't blame him, I think that is such a correct way to play this, especially in a game like Big Brother, where every little interaction is going to be held against you and in front of others. So for him to go in there and kind of like, try to, not muddy the waters, trying to make good of the whole situation, I think he played it very well. And I just kind of didn't like Ava's response that we saw in the diary room. I get that it's genuine, that she was just like, oh yeah, buddy, why am I, consoling you when you're the one who attacked me? But then when we see her in front of him, she's like, oh, it's no big deal. It's fine. I understand it's a game, but that kind of frustrated me too. It's like, you could have just said, listen, I understand where he's coming from. Like, he's got the whole house against him. Like, that's just me as a person. That kind of frustrated me and was something I didn't really love about Ava when we watched in the diary room.
Hey, Matt, what is the timeline for confessionals and diary rooms? Are you doing them multiple times a day? Do you have to get called in? Can you go in there on your own? Only because I think that helps me kind of fill in the gaps.
Yeah, I mean, like, even speaking from like 16 years ago, how they did it, they ran the ship in such a way where as soon as the comp ended, if you were like one of the winners or someone significant in some way, you'd be called in like almost immediately. Before you'd be like, have to clean up first. And then, people would just get called in, sometimes never, or if you did, over the whole course of that entire day, and even into the middle of the night sometimes. Often is not uncommon to be like woken up at 3 a.m. Yeah, get in the diary room. And you can always at any point go in the diary room when you want. Yeah, definitely.
Sweet. Okay, cool. It's just because I always try to like find out the context. Like, all of our confessionals on Deal or No Deal Island were filmed at least 48 hours after the event took place.
Oh, geez, like, you're like totally out of it. Yeah.
You're trying to remember it and then also remember the emotions that go with it. And you're like, I was mad that
like
day.
3 hours ago.
Yeah. I'm not mad anymore, but I was mad on that day.
I'm mad, but about something else totally entirely different.
Something completely different. You're like, oh, okay. And like, even if they're like, yo, what went wrong with you and whatever? And you're like, oh, we just had breakfast, we're good. And they're like, no, bring us to that moment. And you're like, oh, okay, it was a sad day. And like, you have no idea what you're talking about.
And Big Brother did that, but again, much easier, like within the context of hours. Days would be crazy. I had to be able to like just flip your brain back into that mode.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It always cracks me up when I'm watching Big Brother and they're like narrating the head of household or the veto competition. And you've got people in there, and especially like after veto, where you could tell one person while they're giving their confessionals has cried at some point. Yeah. So you know they lost. Like you don't even have to finish. Even if you don't watch live feeds, you could just watch the episodes. You know this person's fucked from the beginning because they're just, you can see the tears in their eyes. Are like, and then I was like really excited I found this piece. And it's like,
on ours, there's we had one of those "How Bad Do You Want It" competitions, and Brendan, Rachel's husband, ended up having to shave his head. So for all the diary rooms for the next like 2 days, he had to wear him like a beanie cap because he couldn't, from the narration standpoint, that he was talking about things that haven't happened yet.
Yeah, I just always find that hilarious.
And you can see it on the show, like randomly all of a sudden before the challenge even happens, Brendan keeps popping him in this beanie cap. Like, why is he wearing a beanie? He's never worn that all season. He just all of a sudden because he's bald underneath, and you're not supposed to know that yet.
Well, the reason I asked this is because there were two good, really, really good moves this week by Ava that Reddit caught and the live feeds caught that the episodes did not. Move number one, after Reilly won HOH, Ava said it out loud on the live feeds, and she was like, Nikki got called to the diary room, but she wasn't even near the top. So once they announced the power, she was like, it has to be Nikki because she was the only one that got called. And I was like, oh, didn't think about that. Like she said that on high feed. So that was number one. And number two, Keanu has been reading the Holy Bible, and he's been putting like, I don't want know if it's like Post-its, but like highlighting certain phrases and certain whatever. So Ava has picked up his Bible when he's not there and tried to piece together all the things he's looking at. Ava has no idea because she's not really a religious person, but you know who is? Rachel. So she brought the passages to Rachel and was like, hey, what's the common thread between these? And she was like, well, like these three passages here that seem like highlighted, they're all kind of asking for forgiveness for like doing something bad and asking for forgiveness afterwards. And you could see everything turning in Ava's head to be like, that's the kind of game Keanu's playing. He constantly feels like he's doing that. And like, so it's small things but like, I think she's way more observant than people are giving her credit for. And I think that she's doing all these small things that although they are not making great TV, they're making a great player.
I want a segment on Rachel the theologian. I didn't know that she was so well versed in that stuff.
Another aspect I want to talk about, and Don't Bite Your Tongue brings it up. Talk about how Zach still has the power that everyone forgot about. Sorry, I have to read around.
I even forgot about Zach, the player, let alone the power that he has. Let's start at the beginning. Who's Zach? And then what was his power? Then we'll follow-up question. What was his power?
The guy that probably would have gone home this or would have had a good chance.
That's the guy who always dressed like he's a Motorola sales rep, right? That guy.
Oh yeah, he was a baseball player for the Nationals that clearly never made the team, so he wasn't a baseball player for the Nationals.
What power does he have?
He's got the power where he won the $10,000 and he can use it to basically buy safety. I believe it is. If I'm not.
Yes, he can buy safety, and we were
like,
all like,
that's why there's too many powers. Like I'm forgetting what these powers.
And everyone knows he has it, right? Or no? They do.
No. They know he has a 10,000, but I don't think anyone.
They don't know about the barter
knows
part.
About the power,
right? And so, like, it was giving.
I'll be right back. Sorry.
Yep, it was giving. Remember that season? I don't know if you watched, Matt, but remember that season of Survivor, Winners at War, where they had like the higher tokens that they were told that they were going to like, and then
you didn't know what they were until you knew what they were. Yeah,
right. No one ever knew, and the season ended, and we were all like, so what was
the fuck was
the plan there? What was it? Like that was it. It's kind of like that where they're like, you can purchase things, and we were like, why? And is he the only one? And is his 10,000 like US 10,000? Is it another form of currency? Is it like the yen? Like what's happening here? Like we don't know.
Big Brother has such a grand history of twists just sputtering out, and like never talking about them, like they just didn't happen or something, or like lasting a week and then just you never hear of them again. So
So he got that power. Was that the underground subway power, or was that when he won the money initially, like week 1?
I think it was like week 1, right?
Oh,
it was
God.
very early on.
Oh no.
Yeah, no one's even looking at him. Who cares? Like, who would even care? Put him up.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Zach.
Right. Who is he? I know that he looks like a Power Ranger outside of uniform, but not like the original. Like 2 casts later. That you're
you're totally right about that. You make a great Power Ranger.
And he's like, I was on the Power Ranger show. And you'd be like, okay.
Is he showmancing with somebody? He seems like he'd be like showmance.
Yes, I think he was looking at. Remember, he was in like a weird love triangle, but it wasn't a triangle because no one was attracted to him.
Wait, who are we talking about here?
Zach.
So yeah, Zach was all about Lauren, wanted it to work with Lauren. Lauren wanted to play the game, but Morgan wanted Zach, Zach didn't want Morgan. So it's like a huge love triangle, right? Not love triangle. Essentially is what it should be. We were talking about this a couple weeks ago where it's weird because usually by now, pretty much every season, we have at least one showmance, right? Like at this point, there's usually at least one, maybe 2, sometimes more, but there's never 0. And it's like people have crushes on each other, but no one's getting reciprocated.
Yeah.
And it makes for a very weird season.
Well, Reilly did the creepy forehead kiss today. Is that common? Is that happening a lot in the house?
He's trying every way he can to get his lips, tongue, hands all over poor Katherine. Like he's doing everything by being her knight in shining armor to get anything he can from her. Like I feel like if she looks at him a certain way, he's gonna be like, oh my gosh, I got an in. Like I'm all in right now. Like his game, I'm not even kidding, Matt. He will do anything he can to lose this game to Katherine. It's crazy. Like more than probably we've seen in a very long time.
He's like the next Beast Mode Cowboy. We'll see him on Survivor next season, maybe.
It's Beast Mode Cowboy, but with the chick kind of being into it to use it to her advantage, right? Like
instead of being full on restraining orders, she's kind of like
I think definitely she is aware of what's happening and she knows she has to use it. Like I think she is giving. Okay, so I live in Austin now, and Austin is full of like beautiful, skinny, blonde, Botox, newly graduated from UT girls, and the oldest, fattest motherfuckers with a yacht you've ever met in your whole life. And you're like, what's happening here? And they know, like they're in on it. They know that
they know
they could do better, right? But they're like, but why would I? This man is giving me everything, paying for my apartment rent and shit that I'm like, this is crazy. So like, I feel like she's in on it. She knows, or she saw whatever we saw on Twitter underneath that blanket. I don't know, but I'm saying she's in on it.
The casino I work at, I see this all the time, right? And a lot of them are my regulars, right? So I'm a bartender at a casino down here in Southern California, and I probably have like 5 or 6 regulars where the man is in his late 70s, early 80s, and the young lady is in her early 20s. Now, hey, go for it. Like, I have no problem, do you, whatever it takes, but they're in on it. Like, they know what this is, right?
And then Nicole Smith, that shit for sure.
Do it. Get your money. Do what you got to do. And the guy's all about it. The girl's all about it. Have your fun. I have 0 cares in the world. But it's definitely a thing to your extent, Phillip. Now, this isn't necessarily the same because obviously they're close in age, but it is very similar to the fact that Kat knows she's got him by the balls, right? Like she knows she has him by the balls, and like it's only benefiting her game to have him there and fighting for her. It's like you are basically playing Big Brother as a pair, but you'll always win. That's exactly how I look at it. So I don't know. And now let's see here. What else from this week, Phillip? Is there any other big button topics that you can think of from this week that we need to get into?
Ooh, I don't think so. But if anyone wants to prove that they are a true 90s, 2000s millennial kid, remember the cartoon Recess on like one Saturday morning and shit? Remember?
Mm-hmm.
So What was the tall girl's name with the glasses?
Oh gosh, hold on.
Gretchen? I think I made that up.
All right, just go with what you're saying. I'll tell you what it is right now.
So Gretchen, I think, is her name, and Spinelli from Recess. They looked like Vince and Kelly when they were having a conversation, and I've never laughed harder in my life. I was like, you know what? Yes.
I'm 48. I feel I'm a generation behind these references, probably.
Don't worry, it's good.
I'll take your word.
I'm 36 and I barely remember it, so don't worry, I got you. No, but I will say this week was definitely a refresher for me, and I feel like I needed it. Being someone who's been swiftly against the first 3 weeks of this game and just not about this cast or this show as far as this season goes. Honestly, it's been like since season 21 on, I felt my love for the show kind of dwindling. Right. And it sucks. There's been good seasons in between, but it's definitely not big. I would even say Big Brother 16. I know how people feel about 16. I'm on a different wagon with 16. I loved 16, but 16 and earlier, I feel like that was the cream of the crop with Big Brother seasons. Right. And your season to be included in that, Big Brother 12, was fantastic. I restarted watching it a couple weeks ago and it's great. I just want to say, let
me know if it ends differently this time around.
Yeah, I'll let you know how that plays out. Yeah, but like 16 and earlier are just such highlights in my mind. And maybe I was in a different place. I was in college, had a different lifestyle. It was a whole thing, but it's just not the same show, right? And so I try to find seasons that kind of give me those glimpses of old school Big Brother that remind me of the fun we had back then, when we were young type of thing. But this season has had little moments of that, but for the most part, it's really just been frustrating and very frustrating to watch. So this week, having all the drama, having multiple HOHs, having people yell at each other, scream at each other, and craziness go on, I'm here for it. So I'm hoping we get more of what we got this week in the future weeks, but I need to see the other side of the house win power and actually do something with it, because it's to the point where this season needs a refresher. They need a do-over. Let's start over, blank slate right now, and this is where the game begins, because it's just been a rough ride up until this point.
So do you think that's a Big Brother issue, or don't be offended, audience, or an issue where this is what happens when Gen Z takes over reality TV? Does that make sense? Because I'm also seeing it on Survivor, on Drag Race, on everything.
Option B. Oh. It's a hard option B for that one.
Right. Like it's one of those where you're like, is this like a Big Brother issue per se, or is this upcoming generation just so hyper aware of being on camera and being canceled and trying to curate what America sees in them instead of being like authentic and genuine? I'm not sure.
You got a lot more of, like, in the old days, a lot more of the production mentality was like, hey, we really are just going to let these cameras roll, and if shit goes down, we're just going to let you guys see it, and shit goes down, and then whatever. And oftentimes shit went down, no one even gave a fuck in the outside world because social media wasn't a thing. And as social media builds and people's conscious builds and stuff like that, you get now production sees what can happen, and so they start getting involved in mitigating. And of course, season 15, it started all snowball where we got disclaimers at the beginning of the program that we never had before. And so now production is no longer just like the social experiment of Big Brother. Let's throw these people in from different walks of life in just the fishbowl. Let's watch them and see what happens. It's not like that anymore. Now it starts that way. We try and hope that it becomes that way, but if it goes a little astray, production needs to dabble and do some marionetting, which was not the case in the old day. If shit went astray, production was not doing marionetting. Production was still the fishbowl that would just watch and let the people work out. Great example. I keep bringing up season 6. There's a whole scenario, and again, forgive my fucking memory, but if you guys might remember better, where like I think it was Jane Kaser was in there talking about like something political involving, Muslims and stuff. And James, I think, made either like, it might have been an off-color comment or just something he was at an unawareness or whatever it was. And in this day and age, whatever happened at that for sure would have been probably cut from the CBS edit. Instead, what they did was they made a whole segment about it and let it play out, production, and call anyone in the diary room. But what you had happen was they kind of started a little arguing about it. It moved to the living room, and then they had this nice discussion, a sit down where like both of them came to understanding. James had this learning moment where he had this whole other eye-opening thing that would have never happened, because nowadays production it would have been cut short before that living room discussion ever happened. Production would call both people in the diary room. We can't air this. Stop talking about this. You know, like it's not a fishbowl, and it fucks with the whole social aspect of why we collectively loved this game. Loved, past tense, loved this game, because it's not the same game anymore. But it is the people in the game that are kind of causing like us to not let it be a fishbowl. We can't, like, the society will not let us just leave people alone, and we that's what our old school fans just want to watch people be left alone and see what happens. Let them learn.
That Big Brother 6 example is such a perfect example of what you're talking about, where there's these just real human moments of people either not understanding because they've never been around someone that doesn't look like them or sound like them or whatever. And now they're getting to see them up close in person and realize, hey, we're all just human. We're all just here being in this house, playing this crazy game and getting to experience other cultures, other religions, whatever it may be. We're all come from different walks of life. And how do we connect and play this game and get along? And that's the season 6 example is so perfect, because that's what people fell in love with this show over, right? It's where you could have these sit down conversations. You're not going on freaking Twitter with a meme as your screensaver or whatever, your little thumbnail, and you're not hiding behind a keyboard.
Or just production didn't have to be mom and dad going like, stop. Don't talk about this stuff. We can't talk about this stuff. Yeah. Like, talk about it. Absolutely talk about it. Again, getting very old. Season 2, the whole Kent and Bunky storyline. Kent was like, I don't know, gays. What are these gays? Blah, blah, blah. And by the end, they're like best friends. If right now, old guy comes in, what about these gays? First off, it wouldn't be cast. Second off, if he started talking that way, production would be like, stop, you cannot talk that way. Whereas like now you lose the learning moment. Now this guy forever will be like, those fucking gays, because he never will have the moment to fucking learn, because it's not a fishbowl anymore, because social media and society will collapse this guy's life for initially being like those fucking gays and not giving him a chance to just fucking learn. It's horrible. You guys, the fucking millennials, not me. No, not my old fuck generation. We're fine, incidentally. It's all you guys. You fucking everything up. Just let everybody live and learn, because then that's what you learn.
And another example would be Richard Hatch and Rudy on season 1 of Survivor.
Yes.
Rudy had never experienced being around gay people before, and then he ended up being, his tightest alliance was a gay man. Like we're talking about a World War II vet. I believe I'm saying that right. I think he was World War II. I could be wrong. But yeah, he was someone who had just never experienced that culture. And we got to see that on our TV screens. And it's partially why Survivor season 1 was one of the biggest shows of all time, because you got to see these people that would never communicate in the real world come together and play this game. So to that extent, I blame social media. I think Big Brother's production's hand has been tilted because of the social media cancel culture. And honestly, I think we would have the same show today if we didn't live in the world that we live in now, right? Like, we would have the same show from 20 years ago that was what we fell in love with and what we loved. But because the cancel culture is so strong, you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't even have an opinion that even on the most minuscule thing is in one direction, you'll be outcast, you'll be canceled, etc.
Well, you're just not allowed to be like stupid anymore. Like, let people be a little stupid and then let them like learn from that stupidity. You're not even allowed to get to that point to like be able to learn. You just can't be stupid. As soon as you do something a little stupid, you're like, you're a horrible person forever. You're forever horrible because of this stupid thing you did, this thing. Just like it's not, let people grow.
Yeah, people can't learn from their mistakes anymore. It's like they're instantly canceled, come after their job, come after their family.
And look, of course there's exceptions, and believe me, I get it. But the exceptions are the exceptions. I think by and large, the things that people get so like their lives ruined for nowadays are not those exceptions. They're much more mild than that, where they could have rebounded and just, learned. I don't know.
Phillip, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I agree with all these things. That's why I just kind of like brought it up, because in my head I have to be like, I think I'm seeing this on every show and I watch everything. So I think it's really just kind of one of those where I think the Big Brother format on paper has held up. The Big Brother formula has held up, but like the world has changed a lot. Where like even in putting people into the same formula is not giving us the same results. I say that as someone who I've had this conversation with Dr. Will over breakfast, just me and him alone, just hanging out. And like, he doesn't give a shit about anything. And it's great to just like hear him talk about like the game versus like what he's signed up for when it started versus him doing the show with us a year ago. And he's like, yeah, it's very different now. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, great. I didn't know. But yeah, I think that this week really was a nice little return to form. And I hope that after this week, we've officially preheated the oven. It took us, what, 3 weeks? 4 weeks. We're at 350. We're here. We're ready to go. And I hope that this sets us up for a successful next few weeks.
All right. So with that said, we're about an hour in here. We're going to wrap things up. Matt, thank you so much for coming on here with us to talk about Big Brother 27, excuse me.
And 12, honestly.
Yeah, 12, right? I'm going to watch 12 tonight, so why not? Matt, any last comments on the season and anything else before we get out of here?
No, Team Rachael. I hope she sticks around. She's going to be fun to watch, I think. I will say this. I talked to Brendan before the season started, but after Rachael had left, and just about like, what kind of Rachael are we going to get? Is she going to like kind of be like mom? And he said that he had a talk with her, and he said like, I want you, like, this is your shot. Be Rachael. Like, if you want to do this, do this. Don't worry about what people say about you, about at home, about anything. He's like, so Brendan like gave her the blessing to be like the Rachael, the crazy ass Rachael we love. So I hope she listens to him. It seems like she's doing all right so far. She's definitely, she's Rachael. She's funny. So I hope we keep seeing that. And I'm Team Rachael. I'm cheering her on.
Definitely Team Rachael over here as well. All right. So with that said, guys, definitely check out the rest of our content. We have Gabe's Big Move every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. Go check that out. Gabe from Survivor 47 does a great job kind of breaking down the Survivor game. Let's see. We also have the Wrestling After Show with Johnny Fairplay and Omar. Omar Gibson, excuse me. They talk about this week in wrestling, pro wrestling. You know, Johnny, he's got his Bantamweight World Championship of the World. So let's see if he keeps it another week. And as they talk about WWE and everything else, we also have a fantasy football podcast sponsored by, I have it right here in front of me, Watertown Whiskey. Definitely check that out. That podcast will be up in the next week where we break down everything for this season of fantasy football ahead. And we will also have a reality after show weekly NFL podcast where we talk about this week in NFL, what's going to happen in the upcoming week, what you guys thought about the last week. It'll be me, Johnny, and Gabe all breaking that down for you each and every week throughout the season of the NFL. With that said, and the Naked and Afraid podcast, Naked and Afraid Apocalypse with Johnny Fairplay. Go check that out. They do a great job over there. And I think that's about it. As always, Phillip from Deal or No Deal Season 2, thank you so much for being here. Matt Hoffman from Big Brother 12, we really appreciate you, bud. I'm Bobby Goodsby. We will see you guys next week.
Goodbye, guys.